Do you have a yoga strap, but maybe you're not entirely sure how to use it in your practice? This video is for you. Hi, I'm Cassidy, and today I'm going to be showing you some different stretches and yoga poses you can do using your yoga strap. Yoga straps can be a really great tool for improving flexibility, extending the length of the arms, and overall just supporting you in your practice. You can find yoga straps for fairly inexpensive online and locally, but if you don't actually have a yoga strap and you still want to take advantage of these tips, you could use a belt, a scarf, or something similar that you have around the house. If you find this video helpful, remember to like and subscribe to my channel for new yoga classes and videos like this every week. Thanks again for being here, and let's jump into our first pose. So once you have your strap handy and you're ready to get started, or maybe you're just watching along, the first pose I'll be showing you today is extended hand to toe pose. So this pose can be pretty tricky, and the strap makes it a little bit more accessible, and this is one of those instances where you're using the strap to actually lengthen your arms. So for regular extended hand to big toe pose, you would take your two peace sign fingers, grab onto the big toe, and extend it. So just like it sounds, you can also go out to the side. So you might see that you have to have some looseness in the legs, some flexibility, and your arm also needs to reach all the way to that big toe. I find this pose much more accessible and enjoyable when I use the yoga strap. So to use your yoga strap in this posture, all you'll do is wrap it around that foot and then grab on. So basically the strap here is just an extension of our arms. From here, you could take that leg out to the side, come back to center, maybe you even find a twist. And then of course you'd want to do that on both sides. So I'll just demonstrate that quick. This time just extending the left leg, coming out to the side, back to center, and then maybe throwing in a twist. So that was our first posture using the yoga strap and its extended hand to big toe pose. Next, I'll be showing you this same exact pose, but the reclined version down on the floor. So make your way onto the floor. We're gonna be practicing reclined hand to big toe pose. So just like our standing position, but this one is a little bit more restorative and relaxing because we're laying down. So just lay down on the back. And same thing here. You're just gonna take your strap, loop it around the arch of the foot, extend both legs long, and then maybe you start to pull the strap a little bit closer to your body, grabbing on with both hands here. Once again, maybe you want to take that foot out to the side. And I also love finding a twist from this position. So switching hands, wrapping it across the body, looking off to the opposite direction. Let's try that quick on the other side. So just unwinding and then looping it around the other foot, extending both legs, pulling that foot closer to the face. And you can see without the strap, I can hardly even reach my foot. So this definitely helps just make the arms a little bit longer. Once again, maybe you take it out to the side, and then you could also find a twist. So the next pose that we'll be practicing using the strap today, we'll also be using it as an extension of the arms here as well. So we'll be practicing cow face arms. So cow face arms can be a really great shoulder opener and chest opener combined. So for cow face arms, what you would do, and I'll turn towards the back once we start using the strap, but you'll take the hands, one is down, one is coming from the top, and then you'll grab them together on the back. Not everyone has the range of mobility in their shoulders to actually touch the hands together. If you do, great, but it still might be a little uncomfortable. So that is where the strap comes in handy. So to use the strap in this pose, and I'll just set it down so the metal doesn't clank, but you'll want to grab it in that top hand, and then instead of trying to reach all the way to that right hand on the top, you'll just grab onto the strap. And from here, you can actually practice walking the hands along the strap to get them a little bit closer together. Good, chest is nice and open here, and feeling that nice opening through the shoulders. So let's switch sides, this time grabbing on with the left hand, coming from the top, and then reaching from the bottom, and you might notice some variation between the sides, and practicing cow face arms on the other side. So that was our cow face arms using the yoga strap. Let's move on to our next pose. Next, I'll be showing you a shoulder stretch, another shoulder stretch that you can do using your yoga strap. This isn't an official yoga pose, it's more of a dynamic stretch, but this one always feels so good in the body. So to do this, you can be sitting down cross-legged or on your knees like I am. Wherever you are is fine. You could even do this standing. But you'll want to grab onto your strap so it's extended all the way. And I like to take mine about this far apart, but play around with it, see what feels good. You can experiment as we move through this. So starting with the strap just down on your lap, and then with an inhale, taking it all the way up, and then all the way back. And then bringing it forward, and just moving back and forth like this. This feels so good on the shoulders, especially if you've been sitting or working at a computer. And once again, you can play around with this, so readjust, see how it feels in your body to move the hands closer together, further apart, and just see how that feels. So this is just an easy shoulder stretch that you can do using your yoga strap. Let's move on to a similar stretch, but this time for the side body. So for this side body stretch, we're starting the same way we were starting for our last shoulder stretch. This time we're just going to lift the arms up. Good. Once again, spreading the arms a little bit wider than the shoulders. Take an inhale. And on your exhale, just tilt towards the right, or whatever side you want to start on is fine. Good. Come back to center. Inhale. Exhale and tip off to the left. And take as many rounds of this as you need, just moving back and forth. Trying to keep everything relatively still, except for just moving the arms and then feeling that stretch up through the ribs, through the side body. That one also feels so good. The next pose that we'll be using our strap for today is seated forward fold. So if you want to meet me in this position, if you're following along, we're just seated, sitting up nice and tall. The legs are extended in front of us and the feet are flexed. So for our regular forward fold, we would keep a nice flat line through the back and reach for the toes or somewhere along the legs. In this pose, you can also bend the knees. But using the strap, we can use this to work a little bit on flexibility and maybe getting the hands just a little bit closer to the toes. I just wanted to remind you though, that's not the goal, and wherever you can reach is totally fine, but this will change the feeling of the stretch and you might end up liking it better. So grab your strap. Once again, we're wrapping it around the feet. Another great thing about using your strap here is that it really helps to keep the spine or the back flat as you fold. So take an inhale, sit up nice and tall. And then on your exhale, and I have some resistance here, I'm pulling a little bit. I'm just gonna pull myself forward using the strap, and I'm really feeling that stretch. So like I said, it's not about touching the toes, but this will help with flexibility in this posture. So hanging out here for as many rounds of breath as you need. And just gently coming back up. I like to shake my legs out afterwards. And that was our seated forward fold using a yoga strap. Our next yoga pose that we'll be using the strap for today is head to knee pose. And this one is pretty similar to our seated forward fold, and the strap kind of works in the same way. So for head to knee pose, we start the same exact way as our seated forward fold. You'll just want to bring one leg in, bending at the knee. You might see this done a couple different ways. So you might see it like this, where my knee is pointing up towards the ceiling. You might also see it like this, where you're making more of a figure 4 with the legs. Whichever variation you want to practice is totally fine, and the strap will work in either one. So I'll just be keeping my knee down here for now. So for this posture, once again, just looping that strap around the right foot, or whatever foot is in front, grabbing onto it, adding a little bit of resistance, sitting up nice and tall. And I'm actually feeling that stretch right here. But if you want, you can start to fold forward, pulling on that strap to keep the nice flat back as you fold. And this is such a great stretch through the back of the leg. It's crazy how different poses can feel when you add some resistance using your yoga strap. So let's come back up, switch sides. This side, I'll keep my knee up so you can see how that looks as well. So I'm just grabbing onto my strap. I prefer to keep my hands separate. You could bring them together and kind of grab it in one spot, but I feel like this keeps everything nice and aligned. So inhale, sitting up tall. Exhale, start to pull yourself forward. And once again, you might notice a little bit of a difference between the sides. I actually prefer to have my knee down in this position and staying here for as long as you'd like. And just gently rise back up, unwind, set the strap off to the side. So that was our head to knee pose, similar to our seated forward fold using the strap. The final pose that I'll be showing you today using the yoga strap is a little bit more of an active or peak pose versus some of the restorative ones we've been practicing. So just like kind of our extended hand to toe standing up at the end, we'll be practicing dancer pose using the strap. So dancer pose without the strap, you would take your hand, grab onto the outside of the foot, lift the left arm or whatever arm is not grabbing the foot, and then you'd kick the foot into the hand, maybe beginning to tilt forward. So that's dancer pose without the strap. Once again, the strap can help to just kind of get the feeling for this pose so you feel comfortable practicing it, and it can just make it a little bit more accessible and give you a different perspective on it. So let's try this out with the strap. So using the strap for dancer pose, you're gonna wanna loop it around the top of the foot this time. And then grab on. You can use, there's a couple options here. You can use both arms, and you could reach up and over, or just like we did without the strap, grab on with your just the same hand as the foot, and then practice that way. So once again, just extending the length of the arm a little bit here. This is still a balancing posture. So like you saw, if you want to be near a wall for some balance, that's a great option as well. But let's try that out on the other side. One more note here is that oftentimes yoga straps will have this little buckle, so you can actually loop it through. I'm not gonna do it right now, but you can create a loop out of it so you don't have to worry about it staying when you do poses like this. So once again, let me turn this way so you can see. We're looping it around the top of the foot, so you might have to play around here. This is where a wall might come in handy. And then so if you wanted to use both hands, we might bring it up and over like this. Otherwise, keeping that strap in the left hand, and I have my left foot, I'm grabbing on close to that foot, right arm is lifting up, and then I'm kicking the foot back. So that was our dancer pose using the strap. I hope this was helpful for you if you are practicing or working on dancer pose, but can't quite reach the hand or are just looking to experience it a little differently. So there we have it, 8 different ways to use a yoga strap within your practice. I hope this video empowers you to explore some new ways to use your yoga strap and that you feel comfortable using this prop. Once again, remember to like and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed today's video, and leave a comment down below letting me know if you have any other favorite poses using the strap. Thanks again for being here, and I'll see you next time.